Bonsai. Good morning, grinders. C3, Eagle Fangs, Cobras, Miyagi-Dos, and everyone else, anybody else, blah, 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 who might be out there watching, listening, needing a laugh, or a little positive vibe in the morning. It is Friday, and I've got to come clean on something. Yesterday was one of those rotten days. Wasn't feeling my normal self first thing in the morning. Get to work, get some, I don't even know how to describe this. What at first I thought was going to be good news, but then turned out to kind of suck. Got that right off the bat. Things at work just didn't go smoothly. They weren't necessarily going wrong, but they weren't going completely right. You know? And everything was just working yesterday to irritate me. And it just kept building, building, and building. I looked at the devotional for today and I was like, what am I going to say about that? Which is a story in and of itself. And I was trying to do everything I could to break that funk, get out of that irritation mode. I even prayed about it. And it just didn't seem to work. At lunch, instead of my normal looking around the internet and watching the other videos, I took a class through ODB, and that wasn't connecting with me either. So I'm still irritated. I get to the afternoon, I really didn't have time to take a break, but I knew I needed to stop for at least 5 minutes to clear my head. So I look at YouTube, and I saw something different in my feed than what, you know, the normal show or channels and types of things that show up. And it was these kids, high schooler, I think one of them might have been a middle schooler, brothers, doing a demonstration for their high school with their weapons. And that put a smile on my face. Really like that. It's amazing to see how fast they were and the amount of energy they projected. I mean, they're screaming. Now, for some reason, whoever uploaded the video put music on top of it so you can't actually hear them or the crowd. So, but you can see it. I mean, these kids, one of which is definitely a high schooler, probably a senior, are vocalizing loudly. And that's, you don't always see that in high school because everybody's, you know, too cool. They don't want to show emotion. But that did put a smile on my face for a short time. Go back to work, get irritated all over again. And I was like, what is it going to take to get out of this funk? Well, I had class last night. And let me tell you, that's what did it. It's not because I got to talk or, I don't want to say hang out with people I kind of like, because that doesn't really happen. We're pretty busy. But it was the exertion, you know, putting the effort into learning the form, and then the sparring. We did a great drill that I absolutely loved. And then a little weapons work at the end, which in my opinion there's not enough of, but it is what it is. You can only pack so much into an hour. But that is what turned it around. And I am convinced, because I didn't get up Thursday morning and do anything. Let's up the speed here. I really think that's a good part of it. They say you wake up on the wrong side of bed. For me, I think that's when I don't push myself. So I'm going to have to double down and work harder at getting my Tuesdays, Thursdays, getting some time in on something. This treadmill at the very least, the rowing machine, gotta do something. Because it has a profound effect on my attitude. So, with that, I'm going to go to the devotional today. And it is a core titled A Bedtime Story And this one's a little different. It says, have the same attitude that Christ Jesus had. Though he was God, he did not think of equality with God as something to cling to. Instead, he gave up his divine privileges. He took the humble position of a slave and was born as a human being. He humbled himself in obedience to God and died a criminal's death on a cross. Therefore, God elevated him to the place of highest honor. Philippians 2, 5-9. When I first read this, I was like, what am I going to say about that? I mean, how well can I relate to that? And it's tough. But one thing that eventually dawned on me is how different this story is than any other story out there. I'm going to go with an obvious one. But let's look at the Karate Kid. I mean, you got Daniel who moves to a new town. Nobody really likes him. He thinks he makes a friend on the first day, but those people seem to abandon him. Nobody helps him out except for Miyagi. You've got the supposed bullies, which I think are really the anti-heroes of the show. But anyway, picking on him. He slowly gets better and better, has some downtime, and wins the tournament at the end. But that story, like every other one I can think of, and probably you too, starts low and slowly comes up. And they're on top at the end. A lot more people familiar with Star Wars, you know. Luke was a moisture farmer for his uncle and goes on to be the last Jedi. And my point is, these people all started at the lowest and made their way up to the top. Every sports movie's that way. You got a ragtag bunch of players who nobody thinks can accomplish anything. They make it to the championship game. Sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. But the point is, they exceeded expectations. But that's not Christ's story. He is literally God come to earth. The highest you can be. And he comes back in the lowliest form. No money. No prestige. Nothing. I mean, you can say that the birth with the wise men and everybody showing up, yeah. But for his life, he didn't have privileges, rank, and ease. He had the roughest one possible, just about. And he doesn't go out exactly on top. He is wrongly accused and convicted, crucified, and died. Yes, he rises again at the end. But what I'm saying is, Christ was dropped down like off a cliff at the beginning. And he kind of goes up as he's getting more followers, then back down, and then up to the highest. So to me, that's a different trajectory than the stories we're used to. And I think that's maybe what they're trying to say in this. Try to be humble. It's easy to think when you get older, or get a little rank behind you, higher in the food chain, so to speak, to think that you've earned some things. But you haven't necessarily. You sort of got to earn everything every day. Just like with me. If I want to have my good attitude, positive, be a good influence on the rest of the people that have to encounter me, I need to earn that every day. So, that's what I came up with. That's my take on that. I'm going to keep walking here, and I'm going to see you in a few minutes over in the back cave, where we're going to do some working. Bonsai. Bonsai. Welcome back, Grinders. C3. Miyagi-Do's, Cobras, Eagle Fangs, Cobra Fangs, and anybody else who might be out there watching, listening, and having a good time. We are up to our third set, and I'm so pumped and energized doing this, I almost forgot to grab the camera and turn it on. So, all the weights have gone up, so it's It is really kicking my butt this morning. That's all right. Final set, I'm going to knock it out. So if you got weights or just using your body weight, whatever you got at home you want to work out long, please feel free. Pump the music in and let's commence to grinding. Whoops, I hit the wrong button. There we go. Alright, here we go. You can see I got my game face on there playing. A little bit about this morning. Gotta be honest, I was really disappointed that I didn't get a single thought or comment on Wednesday's post and the question I posed. That's what really started it off, was, giving it 24 hours and not seeing anything. And then, like I said, it just went down the hill from there. Everything seemed to go wrong. Until I went to class and worked up a good sweat there. And that really turned my attitude around. And like I said earlier, when I was doing the walk, I did pray. I said, God, what am I doing wrong here? What can I do to make it better? And it's not like I got a burning bush or anything. But I'm telling you, at the afternoon break, when I looked at YouTube, that video showed up that had never been in my feed, nothing by those people before, and really nothing similar like that had ever shown up. For me, that's the hand of God. Sometimes you got to look for it, but if you do, you see it. And I think that was him telling me, hey, this is what you enjoy, this is what you need to do to keep your spirits up, because we all have bad days, low days. There's no really getting around that. And when you do have the bad times, and let's just say the rough times, we're not talking about the devastating times, but when you're having a bad day, woke up on the wrong side of bed, I think you got to go to your passion. And sometimes maybe that's getting away, sometimes maybe that's getting with a bunch of people. What works for you works for you. For me, I think going strenuous and working up a great sweat is what sets me free, which is probably why I do this whole channel anyway, because like I said, it was mainly started to so I could see my own form, see where I'm making mistakes, how I need to improve. And I just enjoy doing it, even though we really don't have any subscribers. We're up to 66 at this point, and honestly nobody is watching this. On YouTube it tells me how much time is spent, and on Facebook it tells me how many views, but I can tell that it's really not being watched, and that's okay, because maybe this is just me venting and how I get out what I think and what I feel. It works for me, and I'm pretty happy doing it. So there it is. I think you can see the change in me, the muscularity and all that. I am really happy with the results I'm getting on this total. So I'm going to keep going, and that's what I've got for today. I hope you have a great day, a great weekend. We're going to change things up, but I will be back on Monday. Until then, bonsai. Alright, grinders. C3 Cobras, Miatis, Beagle Fangs. Whew. We did 18,130 pounds a day, 57 less than Wednesday. I had a feeling it was going to go down. So, we got an achievement, early riser, which is odd, since this morning's workout's actually a little later than normal. I can't click on that, but let's see. Strangely enough, our strength score went up, 678. So, 481,000 pounds. We're almost up to 500,000 pounds. And whew, oh, I am sweaty, pumped. Let's lower the camera a little bit here. I'm just, now wait, look at the back. The back is definitely developing. I think the arms are. I don't have a peak, so to speak, but the bulk is there. It has definitely improved since I started this. And I think what I'm going to start doing next week is I'm going to program a brand new thing in here, tweak the moves a little bit, and I'm going to make it 3 separate ones. So it's 12, 10, and 8. But I'm going to really lower the weights to try and up the reps a little bit. Maybe go 12, 16, and 10, but dropping the weights considerably. And starting to focus on diet. Start cutting a little bit. Haven't really been watching my diet at all because I've wanted to bulk a little bit. And now that we're closing in on 90 days, I'm ready to try and trim down. So that's all I got for today. Have a great weekend. Bonsai.